Welcome to the Political Matrix News. Politics, people, local, regional, national news. Political Matrix News keeps you informed. We have the sources, we have the truth from inside the political matrix.
And we are back. Once again, I'm Greg Fink here with the Political Matrix News broadcast. So we got Scott Miller here over there in Pensacola. I'm over here in Gainesville. And real quick, I guess, we do talk about marijuana a lot. I mean, it just seems to be a big issue, and everybody seems to talk about it. Being Schedule 3, Schedule whatever, 1, everything on a national level. But the reason why we're talking about it a lot is because Florida really is the center of the political universe. And that being said, it's on our ballot this year for recreational marijuana. And right now, according to Cherry Communications, who we just talked about in the last segment, is a very reputable polling firm. They have it polling at 58% supporting the recreational side, which, is almost 60. But in a state the size of Florida, 2% is a lot. In a statewide
That's a
election.
lot, but that is inside the margin, so it's hard to say.
It's inside the margin, but at the same time, we got 37% against it, and 5% are undecided. And so, I mean, I think what we were talking about before with the rescheduling of it, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think rescheduling marijuana to Schedule 3 is definitely going to take it out of the necessity of wanting to change the Constitution of Florida to make a recreational legal. I mean, in all reality, I know a lot of my friends would rather go buy it at Walgreens or any kind of store like that than go to a smoke shop, and they'll feel a lot more safe about it, and they will, use it medically.
Well, the way that the Controlled Substances Act works, currently marijuana of any variety is a Schedule 1 narcotic like LSD, and it means it has no accepted medical use. Schedule 2 is for the harder drugs like, the things with a very high likelihood of addiction like hydrocodone and things of that nature. But
right.
Schedule 3 is, that is something with a moderate level of risk for addiction, and I think that's probably where they're going to target it. And if they target it down to a schedule, if they just make it a Schedule 2, then I don't know how much impact it's going to have on recreational marijuana programs. But if they make it a Schedule 3, or probably where it deserves to be is a Schedule 4, because there really is only a low risk of negative side effects with marijuana. I mean, if we're being honest. But I think that an initial target would be Schedule 3, and maybe 5 years down the road, they'll downgrade it to Schedule 4. But keep in mind that many states, including Florida, has their own Controlled Substances Act, and Florida, to have it acceptable for medical use in Florida it's going to require a little bit of legislation too. And that's not something that gets managed through. That's not something that gets managed through the departments in the state like it does in the feds. In Florida, the legislature is going to have to act to make it something that's acceptable for medical use.
Yeah, but I do think, politically, and we're talking about election, how this affects the election in November. I mean, this is what we've been talking about in the past. I think it is negatively affecting the recreational side of the marijuana argument for the ballot Amendment 3 in Florida in November. And so I do think that it's taking a few notches on it, because a lot of people take going to vote and change the Constitution seriously. Even the Florida Chamber is not really big about changing the Constitution for situations like this, and so or of issues like these. And so it's going to be very interesting to see how much money is going to be needed to push it over the edge, because like you said, it is within a margin of error. But whenever you have an issue like this, you don't have very many things that are going to move it. Issues people are already predetermined for it or against it. It's not going to go out there and save a baby or something, or it's not going to go out there and give you a whole bunch of extra jobs or something like that. It's kind of where it is. So the biggest thing is that 5% undecided. How they're going to motivate those individuals to go one direction or the other direction. That's, I think, going to be your sweet spot. what they're going to do.
I sincerely believe that if they drop that thing down to a Schedule 3 drug, that it will kill the incentive for voting for recreational marijuana in Florida, and frankly, it'll kill a lot of programs. Like we said the last time, the biggest thing that'll be the killer is Congress won't reauthorize the Treasury protections. So all these recreational programs will be at risk, if only for that. If you want to kill recreational marijuana, no problem. Just reschedule it so that people can have a valid way of doing it, and then Congress doesn't have an obligation anymore to protect the people who have state-run medical programs, and they won't. They'll abandon it in a heartbeat.
You guys have a great evening, and thank you for staying tuned. And please log in and check out the Political Matrix News. Bye-bye.